I'm Hannah, and until recently, I thought I had everything figured out. My husband, Angel, and I were living in a beautiful apartment in a desirable neighborhood, and we were both working. I added a marketing manager, and Angel was the head of sales at a sports nutrition company. Our life plan was simple. We saved hard for a house, and then we started a family. We lived simply, sharing a single car. Every morning, Angel would drop me off at work on his way to his office, and I would find my own way back in the evenings. However, our perseverance kept us on course, and everything took a different turn. When Angel's sister Anna came to visit us with her 2 kids, our in-laws' protective instincts took over. They wanted to make sure Anna didn't feel alone, so they sent her to stay with us. Angel was adamant about their arrival and helped her with her luggage. I nodded in an attempt to match his excitement, thinking it would be nice to spend time with them. At first, Angel's attention to Anna and her kids seemed sweet. He spent hours playing with them, listened to their problems, and went out of his way to make sure they were comfortable. But as the weeks went by, Angel's attention on Anna grew more intense, and he started to insist that I put her needs first. "Hannah, can you help Anna with the kids' laundry, or why don't you take in some shopping? She needs some relaxation," he would say, adding that I was exhausted from my day job and was now expected to attend to all of Anna's whims. The situation reached a breaking point when Angel made it clear that making Anna's stay as comfortable as possible was our top priority. "Please, can't you be more understanding?" I stared back incredulously. "I'm trying, but I'm exhausted from working all day. And then come home to cook and clean for everyone. I need a break too." I said I'm tired and frustrated, and he scowled, not happy with my response. "Anna is a single mom who needs our support. You should be more sympathetic," he replied. Angel's constant fuss over Anna and her kids left me feeling sidelined. Days turned into weeks, and after exhausting days at the ad agency, I would return home to cook and clean for everyone while being constantly criticized by Angel. One evening, when Angel complained that the food was too spicy for Anna, I almost broke down. "I'm doing my best, Angel." I took a deep breath, trying to keep my cool, and he angrily responded, "I understand that, but I began only to be cut off." "No buts, Hannah, we need to support her," Angel insisted. I nodded silently, avoiding another argument, even though it was obvious to me that Anna was going through a difficult time both mentally and physically. I was tired of Angel's constant criticism, and I longed for our lives to return to normal. One evening, as I thought about our strained dynamics, I realized that something had fundamentally changed in our relationship, and I was worried about where it might go. I was washing the dishes with soapy water up to my elbows when Angel abruptly interrupted the evening's calm rhythm. "Hannah, we need to talk," he said, leaning casually against the kitchen counter. I dried my hands and felt a sense of foreboding settle over me. "What's on your mind?" I asked, trying to sound calm, and as he talked about moving to the city for a job, he revealed a spark of excitement in his voice. My heart skipped a beat. This was entirely unexpected, and I managed to say, "Yeah, isn't it fantastic?" Angel continued to ignore my discomfort, but here's what I was thinking: you could quit your job and stay at home to take care of the house and kids. The plate I was holding almost fell out of my hands and hit the sink. "Excuse me, you can't be serious," I stammered. Angel frowned. "I'm serious. Anna needs to work, and someone has to take care of the kids." I was shocked. "Angel, I'm not giving up my career to watch someone else's kids. That's just not fair," he responded sharply. I tried to keep the peace. "Let's take a moment to consider where Anna plans to live if she gets divorced." Before he could respond, Anna herself walked into the kitchen, smiling. "Oh, didn't Angel tell you that I'll be moving in here with my awesome brother? He's always been so supportive." I turned to Angel, demanding an explanation right away. "Hannah, can we talk about this later?" he muttered, avoiding my gaze. "No, Angel, we need to talk about this now," I insisted, my voice trembling a little. "I'm not comfortable with this setup. It's already crowded here with just the 3 of us." Angel's face brightened as if he had just had a brilliant idea. "But honey, this could be perfect. House anyway, we have a better reason to move sooner because there will be more space for everyone." I couldn't believe his boldness. "Angel, that's not the point. We can't just stop him in the middle of a sentence." I apologized to Hannah, but I promised the kids some playtime, and then he was gone, leaving me standing in the kitchen, dumbfounded, feeling like I'd been blindsided. From that day on, things between us changed. Angel no longer drove me to work, and I'm really busy this morning. I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't have any evidence, so I had to bear the responsibility. I came home early one afternoon in the hopes of taking a break and maybe making dinner beforehand, but instead I found myself in the middle of a complete mess. Anna was watching a reality TV show on the sofa while her kids were causing trouble around her. I tried not to panic, but she hardly looked up. "Oh, Hannah," she said, "the kids were bored, so I let them play." I looked around in horror, seeing the walls covered in crayon scribbles, the sofa covered in mysterious stains, and my beloved houseplants strewn all over the place. "This isn't playing, Anna, it's destroying our house." I tried to change the topic to something constructive, but Anna waved her hand dismissively, saying, "Oh, I've sent out my resume to numerous places, but nothing appealing has come up yet. They all demand too much for too little pay. I'm not that desperate." "They're just kids, Hannah, so lighten up," she said, taking a deep breath and silently counting to 10. I clenched my teeth to keep from responding sharply. Of course she wasn't desperate because she was living comfortably with Angel and me, and we were bearing all the expenses. Expenses and chores that evening, as we got ready for bed, I tried again to talk sense into his head. "We need to set some basic rules. Anna can't keep letting the kids run amok, and she really needs to start helping out with household chores." Angel sighed. His expression was one of frustration. "Anna is going through a difficult time. I've been giving her slack for weeks, and our house is becoming a mess. I'm doing everything around here, and you make me feel like the irrational one. Keep your voice down, Angel. You'll wake everyone up. I know it's not ideal, but she's family, so we must stick together." Later, as I lay in bed and listened to the peaceful rhythm of Angel's breathing, I wondered when I had stopped being regarded as a member of the family and, more distressingly, how much longer I could put up with living this way. As the days turned into weeks, the chaos in the house only got worse, and Angel seemed utterly unaware of the chaos his sister and her kids were causing. Every time I tried to make things more orderly or ask the kids to clean up after themselves, Anna would quickly complain to Angel. One evening, I overheard her say, "I don't think Hannah likes the kids. She's always telling them off." I waited for Angel to defend me and explain that asking for basic cleanliness wasn't unreasonable, but instead I heard him say, "I'm sorry, Anna. I'll talk to her." That night, Angel confronted me in our bedroom, saying, "Look at this place, Hannah, it's a mess." If you can't manage it with the kids around, maybe what Angel's I interjected, already dreading the conclusion he was reaching. "Maybe you should consider quitting your job if you were home full-time. You could keep the house in order without putting so much stress on the kids." I laughed bitterly, disbelief mixed with anger. Labor to expect children to clean up after themselves, Angel, but he wasn't really listening. He had been pushing this narrative for a while, and I was sick of fighting it. "You know what, Angel, you want me to quit," I said, though my mind was already making another plan. His eyes widened in surprise, and I nodded. "Yep, I'll call work tomorrow and tell them." Angel's face lit up with a big smile, and he gave me a tight hug without noticing my stiff posture. "Oh, Hannah, this is great, and everything will be better." The following day, I did call work, but not to resign. Instead, I spoke with my boss, and I had recently agreed to take a month of unpaid leave for family reasons, and my boss was supportive when I submitted my request. When I told Angel that I would be temporarily leaving my job, his face lit up with pride, and he exchanged a knowing look with Anna as if to say, "See, I knew Hannah would understand the importance of family observing their celebratory moment." I felt disconnected, almost like an outsider in my own home. It was explained that I needed to take some urgent personal time to sort out my home life, hinting at changes that were brewing but had not yet been decided. Despite the strange feeling, I reminded myself that this arrangement was only for 5 months, a time frame I had given myself to assess how things would play out and see if Angel would notice the mistakes in our current setup. The next morning, Angel left for work, kissing my cheek and wishing me a wonderful day at home, confident that I would handle everything flawlessly. I managed to smile and wave him off before turning to face the chaos inside our home, where Anna was relaxing on the sofa with a remote control in hand while her children ran around wildly. From that point on, my life became a never-ending cycle of housework and childcare every morning. As the days blended into a blur of household chores, I watched Anna drive away in Angel's car, feeling stranded at home juggling housework and childcare. Angel, for his part, seemed completely unaware of the imbalance as he would return home, give me a peck on the cheek, and casually ask about it. I woke up early to make breakfast for everyone, pack Angel's lunch, and then spend the rest of the day cleaning, cooking, and watching over Anna's kids. Meanwhile, Anna seemed to be on an endless vacation, frequently leaving the house to go shopping or meet friends for coffee, leaving her kids in my care without a second thought. My day as though I had chosen this life, as if I was living out my dream instead of making sacrifices for his sister's convenience. One evening, as I was serving dinner that I had spent hours preparing while Anna was napping, Angel announced that Anna's birthday was approaching. He had prepared something special and instructed Anna to keep her schedule free for the evening of the 13th. On her birthday, we all drove to Leblanc, the most expensive restaurant in town, which Angel and I had once run to visit for our anniversaries, but always decided against in order to save money for our house. Angel's parents welcomed us, showered Anna with attention, and scarcely. After the main course, Angel got up and tapped his glass to make a toast, praising Anna for her strength and resilience, which he said he greatly admired. As the applause subsided, he reached into his pocket to reveal a special surprise for her birthday, further adding to the feeling of exclusion I was experiencing at the time. As we settled in, the dinner conversation focused entirely on Anna, her challenges, her strengths, and her dreams, and I remained silent, feeling more like an observer than a participant in the celebration. As about to give me a thoughtful gift as a surprise for all of my sacrifices, but as he turned to face Anna, my excitement vanished. He handed her the box and said, "Anna, you've mentioned the struggles of getting around with the kids." When he opened it, he revealed a set of car keys and exclaimed, "Happy birthday, sis." The room erupted in cheers and applause. Anna jumped up and embraced Angel, overwhelmed with joy. "Oh my God, Angel, you're the best brother ever." Meanwhile, I sat frozen in shock, remembering the innumerable conversations I had had with him. Every time Angel dismissed the need for a second car, saying that we needed to save for a house, I started to try to remain calm. I asked, "Why did you choose such an expensive gift for Anna?" The room went silent, and all eyes were on us. Angel's smile faltered. "Well, Anna really needs a car. It's tough for her to take the kids to the park or doctor's appointments, and it'll be essential when she starts her job." His words hurt. "And what about us? I've been requesting a second car for months." Angel's expression turned stern. "Hannah, you're home all day, so you don't need a car." His dismissive tone felt like a physical blow. "How much did this car cost, Angel?" Angel shifted uneasily. The rooms appeared to spend $77.78. "Your sister-in-law needs this car, but my patience has run thin, and I've sacrificed my career, my dreams, and my identity for this family." Angel's face flushed with anger. "If you're going to be so selfish and inflexible, then fine, I'll take out a loan and replace the money." But no, I exploded past the point where I cared about the spectacle we were creating. "I don't want a loan, and I want you to sell the car and return our savings." Anna, who had been quiet, sharply chimed in. "I told you that she was controlling." Angel's parents nodded, and his father spoke sternly, "Hannah, Angel is the head of this household, and I felt like I was drowning in criticism." He stood up suddenly, scraping loudly, "And that's enough, Hannah. Your behavior has ruined the evening, and I don't know how to act in public." Tears started to well up, but I held them back and stood with my purse tightly. I said, "I'm leaving," in a steady voice, no longer paying attention to the other diners staring at us. "Get out, you ungrateful freeloader. I'm the breadwinner here, and you should listen to me if you actually worked." He went on talking, hitting me like punches, and I wanted to yell back that I hadn't quit my job and that I was just on leave, but I swallowed the words because they were already predetermined about me leaving the restaurant. Angel's tirades reverberated behind me, declaring how I lived off of his efforts and dared to question his choices. The cool night air brushed against my face as tears finally came out, and I felt a mixture of humiliation, anger, and a determined decision to put an end to this. When I got to our apartment, my hands were shaking as I tried the keys, and Nanny looked up in surprise as I stormed in our bedroom, my face marked with tears. Robotically packed my suitcase with clothes, necessities, and some treasured mementos. I left Angel a brief note saying, "I'm in a hotel, don't contact me." The hotel room felt sterile, but it offered some solace that night as I relived the upsetting dinner by dawn. I was determined to get a divorce, so I called a reputable divorce lawyer, Anna Garcia. As soon as her office opened, I told her about the gradual breakdown of our marriage, the financial betrayals, and the humiliation I had endured. Anna listened carefully, taking notes based on your account, and she confirmed that you have a solid basis for divorce. I finished because I needed a new one. In the beginning, I found a small apartment close to my place of employment and asked to return to work early. My boss was happy to comply, and I settled into a new routine. I hoped for a simple divorce with no malice and only fairness. During our first mediation session, I suggested that we handle this amicably by returning the money you used for your sister's car and splitting the remaining funds equally. Angel laughed at this, saying that the car was a gift and that you were being unreasonable. After a number of fruitless sessions, it became evident that we would have to settle this in court. The months that followed were filled with court appearances and legal battles with Angel. Resisted at every turn and tried to paint me in a bad light. After what seemed like an endless legal battle, the judge finally handed down her decision. Mr. Johnson had improperly used shared funds to purchase a car for his sister without his wife's approval. The judge declared that this was illegal, and he was ordered to pay Mrs. Johnson half the car's value as well as all legal fees. As the judge spoke, I felt a wave of relief. This wasn't just about money. It was about justice being heard and having my rights upheld. Followed the court's ruling and moved the required money to my account. He needed to get a loan to cover the expenses, but I had no regrets about his decisions. 3 months after the divorce, I had accepted a new beginning. My small apartment was a haven of peace and simple pleasures, a far cry from the chaos of my previous marriage. I rekindled old friendships, committed myself to my work, and even began caring for a small herb garden on my balcony. For the first time in a long time, I felt truly at peace with myself when, one calm Sunday, I was surprised by Anne. Hearing through the crowds, my heart raced at the sight of Angel looking unkempt and nervous. My curiosity drove me to open the door, and I did so. Hannah's voice was raspy, so I hesitated for a moment before letting him in. He looked around my tidy, welcoming apartment, saying, "You look good." "The place looks nice, thanks," he said quietly. "What brings you here?" I replied cautiously, "What brings you here?" Angel collapsed onto the couch, his distress obvious. "I came to apologize and to ask for your help." I sat across from him, silently encouraging him to continue. He revealed that he had lost his job because of company downsizing, was struggling financially, still burdened by the loan for his sister's car, and Anna refuses to sell the car or find a job because she's not ready yet. He explained, and I remained calm despite a brief moment of relief. "I'm sorry to hear that, Angel, but I'm not sure how I can help," I said, looking at me with desperation in his eyes. "Our apartment is a disaster. Anna doesn't clean, and the kids are uncontrollable, and we're at risk of eviction due to the mess and noise." I now realize that she isn't just struggling, she's exploiting the situation, and I've allowed it. His realization was a step, but our paths had irrevocably changed, and I could only hope that he would find a way to change his situation as I had mine. I acknowledged that I was right, but I questioned the price paid. Angel's voice faltered as he expressed his desire for a fresh start. "I know I don't deserve this chance, but I'm hoping we could try again. I've learned a lot, and I miss what we had. Perhaps with your guidance, we could make amends." His words briefly brought me back to the blissful beginnings of our marriage, the shared dreams, and our future plans, but the sting of his betrayal. Taking a deep breath, I addressed him and said, "Angel, I appreciate your apology, and I'm sorry for the struggles you're facing, but I can't revert to our past." His face dropped in disappointment, but he persisted, saying, "Hannah, I've changed. I see everything so clearly now." I responded softly but firmly, "And I've changed too. These past few months have revealed my strengths and the respect I deserve. If you could betray me once, it could happen again when times get tough," he would argue and claim his lessons were well learned. However, that doesn't change the fact that I found happiness and freedom on my own. I've enjoyed making decisions for myself without having to take into account a partner who didn't appreciate my contributions. Angel's shoulders dropped in resignation, "So there's no chance for us?" he asked quietly as I stood up, signaling the end of the conversation. I said, "I hope things get better for you, Angel, but I'm not the answer to your problems. You need to depend on yourself and make your own decisions." He nodded slowly, getting up at the door, and turned back. "I truly apologize to Hannah for everything I know." I said, "Goodbye, Angel," as I closed the door behind me. I leaned against it and let out a deep breath. A flurry of emotions swept over me, including triumph at Angel's understanding of his errors, regret for the dreams I had once treasured, and most importantly, a profound sense of relief and release.